It's going?
Yes.
Okay. Hi, my name is Mads. I've been climbing for 2 years, and today I'm gonna run you through the gear I've used in the 2 years that I've been climbing so far and what I like about it. Starting with shoes, this is the first pair I ever owned. These are the Evolv Elektras. I had them for probably like a year and a half before I switched over to the ones I have now. I keep these because they're very sentimental to me, even though I probably won't climb in them again since the toes are pretty worn down. They were a really good beginner shoe. They weren't too aggressive, but I still felt like I could be up on my toes while I was climbing in them and learning the fundamentals of technique. The heels were really nice for a beginner, I feel. They're pretty worn down now, but I feel that this part of the shoe back here was a little more raised when I first got them, so I was more able to like lock in a heel hook when I needed to. Moving on to the shoes I have now, these are the Scarpa Arpia Low Volumes. To be honest, I didn't even really know what I was missing out on until I moved up to a slightly more aggressive shoe. It was my partner who recommended I get new shoes since these ones were so worn down. Even though they don't have a hole in the toe, I still was noticing a decline in my footwork, and so he recommended that I get a slightly more aggressive shoe. These ones aren't too downturned, and as I've worn them, they've kind of flattened out, but especially on overhangs, I notice a huge difference in my ability to like really pull on the footholds that I'm using. These ones are much smaller running, I think, than the Evolvs, but as they break in, they become more and more comfortable, so that's really nice. I've had these for maybe 2 or 3 months now, and I've been really enjoying them. You know when you like step and you feel like that your shoe like fart like in your it's like, I get that with these, which is like the only thing I don't like about them. Though these are very different shoes from 2 separate brands, the Arpias are downsized by a size and a half from the Elektras, and I still find that I have more room in like my midfoot here, especially when I'm walking around. It's very noticeable, so if you have a narrower foot, maybe I would look into the Evolv brand, since I think that their low volume shoes may run a little narrower. Another thing I've noticed is this rubber on the front of the shoe has really helped me practice my toe hooks. On the Evolv ones, since I think they're more of a beginner shoe, they probably just didn't intend for beginners to be like throwing toe hooks, I suppose. But I've really been able to practice in these, and it's been really cool. I think we move on to harness now. The next piece of gear I want to talk about is my harness. I've had this Edelrid Jayne harness for probably a year now, and I really like it. The first year or so that I was climbing, I had a Black Diamond Momentum, I think it was. And since I sized myself with none of my friends or like staff around in the gym to help me figure out what size I was, I think I sized myself incorrectly. I don't have my other harness here today because I gave it away to another climber who was fairly new and a size smaller than me, and it fit her way better. I wanted a new harness before I noticed that there was a sizing issue though, because I noticed that the Momentum perhaps wasn't as squishy as this one, and since my goal was to eventually lead climb, I wanted something that wouldn't feel so tumultuous on my back when I would fall. I really enjoyed this one because it is squishier, and also it has the adjustable leg loops, which I don't believe the other one had. Yeah, not really much to say about the harness. I like that it's pink. Lastly, I'll talk about my belay device quickly. At my home gym, we have pre-attached GriGris, so I really only use this Mammut Smart when I'm lead climbing. However, my belay partner has a GriGri Plus that honestly I prefer a little bit over this, just because it gives me more confidence and peace of mind to have an assisted braking device in the form of a GriGri rather than just this mechanical aspect of the Smart. I got this as a set, so it came with the HMS carabiner, which I really enjoy. However, it makes it a little more finicky to take on and off, as well as storing it on my harness. If the gate is open, it's just kind of clunky and I like knock my arms on it or it gets stuck on stuff, so yeah. But overall, I really like this belay device. Thanks for listening to me talk about my favorite gear as a beginner climber. I hope that this gave you some insight. If you liked the video, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe if you want to see more like this. Thanks for watching.